Okay, the exercise that we're going through here is our toe touch progression. This is going to be a great exercise for calf and hamstring stretch as well as reestablishing a hip hinge. Oftentimes we lose the ability to move through our hips, so where do we move through? Either our low back, we move through our knees quite a bit. If we were going to touch our toes, maybe we round through the spine quite a bit. Oftentimes we see this with golfers who don't move their hips at all, and all they do is lower their trunk and their hands down to the ball, and they've got this big rounded C posture, and that's going to limit rotation. It's also going to put quite a bit of strain on the shoulders and the neck. So as you go through this exercise, you're going to place some type of a towel on the ground that your feet are going to go on. You can see here I've got a foam roll, and you're going to take another towel, you're going to roll it up, and you're going to put it between your knees. So put your feet up on that towel roll, put a roll between your knees, you get up nice and tall, stay as tall as you can, pull belly button in, bend down, touch your toes, and then go ahead and stand back up. And what happened there? Well, I fell over. And I can promise you that that was not staged. So I'm going to rewind this to what just happened. So I got down to my toes here. And I'm going to draw a few little lines. I'm going to draw a circle right over where my hips are at. Okay? And now, as we step this forward, you can see I've stood up quite a bit, but my hips didn't go anywhere. My hips have still barely gone anywhere, and I'm almost standing up completely. So what does that mean? That means that if my hips aren't coming up and forward and I'm not moving through my hips, all I'm doing is extending through my back. Okay, does that make sense? So to stand up, all I'm doing is extending through my back, and what happens? I fall over. Because all of a sudden I brought so much of my weight behind my feet down here, behind my base of support, I lost my balance. That's one of the great things about this exercise, is that it shows us, without having somebody to tell you where your balance point is at and what you need to do to balance correctly. A lot of times it's easier to fail at something and figure it out through trial and error than it is for somebody to tell you, do this and do that and squeeze this muscle. It's similar to an infant as they're walking around. We never have to tell them, squeeze this muscle, stand up tall, do that. They figure it out because they fail. And this exercise will do just that. If you don't do it correctly, you'll find that you have to adjust and you have to figure out what's going on. So, as I reestablish my position here, again, we're going to do this in a little bit of slow motion. So now here, you can see this is very different. My hips are moving actually, nice and tall. So if I draw a straight line from where my shoulder is down to where my feet are at, I'm there. Let's go back to where I was when I fell over. This is where I'm at when I actually fall over. You can see it's not even close to where I got to when I was doing it correctly. Okay, so I'm just going to play this forward, take care of some of this paint on the screen, and so I'm back in a good position, toe touch, stand up, nice and tall. Whatever arch I have in my low back, it's natural, it's not accentuated or exaggerated. You're going to go through about 20 of these, pushing back through the hips and drive up and forward through the hips. Stay tall. After about 15 to 20 reps, step on over the roll. So now your toes are down. This is going to be more through the hamstring. The previous stretch was going to be more through the calf. Same idea. Crush that towel roll. Stand up. crush that towel roll on the way down, crush that towel roll on the way up. This is all movement through the hip. Again, 15 to 20 reps through here. You can go through it a few times if you want, but this is going to be a great exercise, again, for calf stretching, hamstring flexibility, and then reestablishing that hip hinge that's so important in golf.